stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as follows. By having the time, date, and place of the meeting posted on the bulletin board in the Administration Building, January 7, 2021. By sending a copy of the meeting notice to the Star Ledger newspaper and the Union County local source on January 7, 2021. And by filing a copy with the Township of Hillside and Public Library on January 7, 2021. Roll call.
Mr. Yanday. Ms. Best.
Present.
Ms. Gordon Givens. Mr. Howard. Ms. Simmons.
Present.
Mr. Shapiro.
Present.
Ms. Tucker.
Present.
Ms. Wall.
Present.
Ms. Cook.
Present. At this time, we're going to start off with announcements by our Madam Vice President, LaQuana Best.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Glad to see everyone here. I hope we are all ready and excited about the upcoming annual Breast Cancer Walk Pink Shuffle on the Hillside scheduled for Sunday, October 3rd, 2021. It will be held at Conant Park and registration begins at 8 a.m. and the walk will start at 9 a.m. Please donate if you have not done already, as we are fighting for the cure of both women and men that suffer from this deadly disease. On a personal level, my grandmother lost her battle to breast cancer on that very same day, October 3rd, 7 years ago. So I will be walking in her memory. This is not a competition. We're just all here walking and fighting together for a cure. So please come out and support. All donations should be made payable to the American Cancer Society. Remember, the next generation focuses on this fight through the eyes of our students.
Thank you. Also in our announcements today, we had a great day. We had the ribbon cutting for the Hillside Innovation Academy. We were joined by Governor Phil Murphy as well as other dignitaries. It was a great day for our students. They enjoyed having everyone there. But also, this would not have come to point unless certain people came together to make it happen. And sometimes we let our personal issues with people get in the way of realizing that certain things would not have taken place if it wasn't for the board members, some who currently sit here and some who are not currently here, voting for this to take place. A vote no, we would not have the Hillside Innovation Academy today. Also, personal issues with the consultant. We would not have Hillside Innovation Academy without our consultant, Anthony Salt. Gets on my last nerves, everybody knows that. But his vision is the vision of Hillside Innovation Academy today, as well as partnerships with the county, partnerships with the state. That's what made this happen. And we all have to start realizing that. And other partnerships can continue with all our schools if we embrace the help. So I'm just asking that everybody start embracing, working together. There's more that they would like to do with our other schools. WOK, their partnership with Kane University, and people are willing to come out and help all our schools. We just need people to embrace it. And we need more yes and less of the names in our district. At this time, we're going to open up our public comments.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Residents are requested to state their names, addresses, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of the meeting may exceed 15 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement by a participant to 3-minute duration. Issues raised by the members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that the members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals who speak. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of the state of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by the members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments, and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Anyone wishing to make a comment, please step forward, state your name and address. Motion to close public comments.
Motion. All in favor?
Aye. At this time, we're going to have our committee reports. Ms. Best, can you define it?
The Finance Committee met on Monday, September 20th, to discuss the items in the financial agenda item.
Ms. Best, can you also take buildings and grounds?
Yes, the committee also met on Monday to discuss all buildings and grounds items on the agenda.
Ms. Worrell, education.
The Education Committee met on Monday, September 20th, and we discussed the items presented by the Superintendent Glover. Agenda items number 1 and 2 are regular monthly items. Agenda item number 3 was a change to our district calendar, and the reason for that change was October 11th was marked as a PD day, and it's really Columbus Day, so schools will be closed. Item number 4 is a regular yearly renewal. Item number 5 is for professional development for all of our science teachers. Each science teacher in the district will receive 1 session. Item number 6 is for the annual New Jersey School Boards Association workshops. Normally, it's held in Atlantic City in person, but this year again, it's virtually. And the cost is per group, not per person. Number 7 is a memorandum of agreement with Montclair State University and Hillside School District. And it's so that we can mentor students during their internship with their clinical education.
Thank you. Our committees were held on September 20th, 21st, starting at 6:25 p.m. Those who were in attendance were Joanne Gibbons, Eleanor Worrell, Kimberly Cook, LaQuanta Best, Donald Howard, Dr. E, and Mr. Wells. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Be it resolved pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act that the Board of Education meet in executive closed session at this time to discuss matters related to labor negotiations and attorney-client negotiations. This time, I would like to take a motion to go back into public session.
All in favor?
At this time, can I have a motion to go back into committee reports?
All in favor?
All right, Mr. Howard, you go over our labor committee.
The Labor Committee met on Monday, September 20th, to discuss items 1 through 53 on the labor agenda. We note that items 15C and D will be stricken. Items 15C and D will be stricken. Sorry, couldn't hear me. Labor Committee met on Monday, September 20th, to discuss items 1 through 53 on the agenda. Note on your agenda, items 15C and D will be stricken for further notice. I so move to have items 1 through, I move to have items 1 through 53 accepted on the labor agenda.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to have our superintendent's report.
Good evening. Try it again. Good evening. Good evening. All right. At this time, we're going to have our superintendent report, but what I would like to do every month, I want to recognize the great work that's happening here at our schools. And each one of our principals will be presented at different nights during our school board meetings. Tonight, I have the distinguished honor of introducing our high school principal, Ms. Sidwood, and I'm going to have her team come forward. I'm going to have her team come forward first. Yes. Can the board members please go to the front rows here so that the high school team can come forward?
Sit on the couches. Hi, everybody. You know, when I was told I had to do this by myself, I said, yeah, I'm not any good by myself. I need a team. So I brought my team with me, and this is my team. So we're going to talk a little bit about Hillside High School, my beautiful school, beautiful. Okay, so the role of Hillside High School is to prepare our students to compete in a globalized society, prepare them with the skills and tools necessary to face the challenges of the 21st century and to develop into successful, productive, and more importantly, compassionate individuals. So our drive is to constantly reflect on yesterday, to do better, to be better, and expect better from our students and our staff as well. And why we do this? It's our love and commitment to the success and the happiness of our students. So some of the highlights, I'm going to talk about the academic highlights. We have dual enrollment classes with NJIT and Union County College. We offer courses in computer science, math, and business. We just started our Kane Scholar Academy, and we have Project Lead the Way, and it's in our 4th year. We offer engineering, biomedical science, and computer science, and it's a very good course. We just started technology education and literacy in schools. It's our TEALS program. That just started this year. And I'm excited about it because the program, it builds sustainable computer science programs in the high school with volunteers from the field of computer science. And we have somebody from Microsoft that's working with our students. So that's a new program. And we offer AP classes in English language and composition, literature and composition, calculus, computer science A, computer science principles, Spanish, and our students get 5s on AP exam in Spanish, so I'm happy about that. I'm proud of that. Psychology, US history, biology, chemistry, and physics. And we're looking to increase our AP courses. And extracurricular. We have our robotics club, athletic training. You can see our athletic training students at all the football games. They do a terrific job. We have our DECA and FBLA clubs, and they are our business clubs. We have our JETS club, our academic decathlon, our National Honor Society, our math, our science clubs. And if you look down here, we have about additional 30 clubs, but if I put them on there, we would be here until tomorrow night. So we have a lot of clubs at the high school, and you can find those clubs in our student handbook. So our future plans, what are the future plans? Some of our future plans for the high school. We want to create career technical education, CTE pathways. We want to create courses that conclude in a certificate that will lead to real job opportunities. We want to create partnerships with industry and business to allow for more student-structured learning opportunities. We want to complete it's almost 7 years that we were accredited by the Middle States. So we're starting that process again, and I have my 2 Middle States gurus that are going to talk to you a little bit about Middle States. And finally, we want to provide our students with social emotional support through our Ready, Set, Grow program with Dr. David Jefferson. And let's give him a round of applause because he just got his doctorate. So I'm going to turn you over to our Middle States gurus, Colonel Richard and Matt Smith.
All right, thank you for allowing us to talk about Middle States. Some of you are familiar with Middle States, and some of you are probably, I don't know what that is other than the term. Imagine this, any business organization is trying to do something, and they got their own plan, they think it's working well, but then things happen. You can have an outside person come in and consult, whatever you want to label them as. They can give you some guidance, some coaching, some mentoring on where to go. So Middle States accreditation is that for the high school. This will be my third one. I did one in 2007, 14, and now this one. And that, Mr. Smith and I are in charge of the project managers. So we're going to tell you a couple minutes about what Middle States is, some of the components. So this is what it really is. It talks about growth and trying to improve, whether it's the facility, the policy, the student, whatever, and then we'll discuss some of those areas in a few minutes. The other thing is accountability. We're accountable for all the things that we want to accomplish internally, because it's our plan, our program. You just have someone coming in and checking it out. And then stakeholders. Yes, you board members, you're a stakeholder in the process. So next year and a half when they come to visit us, we're going to ask a couple of you to sit in for a few minutes and talk to you about different things, how you see the high school. And last but not least, public relations. How many people move into Hillside? Well, what's the first thing they want to do? They want to look at the school district's educational plan, program. So it's public knowledge.
All right, so what do the next few months of Middle States look like? The first thing we had to do was choose our pathway, or our accreditation protocol. And we chose the Excellence by Design method. We like this method not only because it highlights student performance and organizational capacity, but it is future-oriented and uses this as a means to drive the entire process. So we are in the process of forming our planning team right now. That team is almost completed. And the first couple things that this team is going to be looking at are our foundation documents, our mission, vision, and belief statements, in addition to our profile of graduates, profile of student and organizational performance. Over the next couple months, we are also going to be conducting a self-study. This is going to be in the form of several surveys that are going to be pushed out to the parents, students, and staff of this building. And these surveys are going to highlight the 12 standards that Middle States uses and will give us some feedback to build our future goals. So we are going to take these surveys, see which of the areas we are lacking in according to those 3 different groups, and build our plans moving forward. We will also be conducting a self-assessment for indicators of quality in the fields of curriculum, instruction, and assessment.
All right, like everything, you got to come up with a plan that requires some objectives. And usually the minimum amount of objectives Middle States would like to see are 3. You can always have more, but they be more time consuming and not relevant. So we come up with 2 student-oriented objectives and 1 organizational-oriented objective. And then obviously we develop action plans to accomplish those goals. The visiting team, let me just give you a quick mental picture. This year we're prepping for next school year 22-23. They will let us know this spring when they're going to come, either the fall or the spring of the following school year. A chairperson usually consists of a team of the chairperson and other teachers. So a team could consist of 7 people. And then they'll come, they'll assess, they'll spend about 5 days with us, be very thorough, give an out-briefing that Friday before they leave, and then usually about 2-3 months later, they provide the formal document explaining how everything went. And I've been on, they also asked for other teachers to go, so I've been to 4 other school districts over the last 10 years as a member of a team, so I've seen the inside and the outside of all that.
Thank you, Richard. So that's what we're doing. So I'd like to introduce Dr. David Jefferson. He's been doing our Ready Set program for 5 years. So he's going to talk about that and how we identify our students.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Madam Principal, to our wonderful superintendent, Madam President, Vice President, these wonderful board members, and you all who are here as well. I'm excited to stand before you to share with you some information about the Ready, Set, Grow Academy. It is a student leadership and mentoring program. Our program aims to provide assistance to at-risk students who are in danger of failing to perform according to the expectations as a result of inadequately working to their potential. I like to utilize the words of our principal, Principal Sidler, who says very clearly, as long as we can reach one student, then we are doing our job. But our plan consists of engaging 15 to 25 students in our program during the school year. This plan and curriculum offers alternative support to teachers in the academic setting, therefore assisting them in the support of these students who are having some of these challenges, but showcase major potential. My role at Kane University is out of the Passport program. There, we work with remarkable, talented students who have issues, if you will, academically, and we see them through. So not only are we doing it at a high school level, I have the pleasure of doing it at the collegiate level as well, which prepares our students for those transitions. This year alone, we brought in 6 students from Hillside into Kane out of our Ready, Set, Grow Academy just to speak to our results. Our main objective is centered around being an agent of what we would call academic, leadership, and overall growth for every student engaged in our curriculum. Our curriculum is throughout the year, and what we do is we focus on holistic training with them, in addition to tutoring services that come from college students and facilitators, and we have a staff of 3 facilitators and 3 college students who utilize and work with our students. Our aim is to decrease what we see as students failing academically, and we aim to do this by 10% throughout the year and decrease the number of student discipline referrals and suspensions by 20% as well. I want to thank this district. This last year was a challenging year when we were able to engage with our students, even in a virtual learning environment. And my dissertation, the culmination of it, was centered around Hillside and the opportunity that Hillside has with the Closing the Achievement Gap initiatives such as the Ready, Set, Grow Academy. Madam President.
Thank you, Colonel. Thank you, Matt. And that's it. Unless there's anything else.
Principal Sidler and your team, thank you very much. You're the trendsetter also for your fellow colleagues because you're the first one. So
I'm a tough act to follow.
I know. So we thank you. And I think it's important, I'm not saying this hasn't been done before, but I think it's important that members of the community, our staff, our students know where we're going. And the high school is the important spot, right? Because this is where it matters. You graduate from here. And this is your launch into those career pathways, whether it's college, military, post-secondary activity. So thank you for setting the stage. I'm sure there's some information that folks learned tonight that they didn't know. I have no doubt that we will be successful in our reaccreditation process because we have a great team here led by a great leader. So thank you very much. I hope I'm not blocking you. I want to share with you some highlights that I think it's important. So the superintendent report for this month is as follows. I've always said when I was a school leader and now as a district leader, you always begin with your mission and your vision. If we do not know where we're going, then how do we know we're doing the right things? So of all of our meetings that we should begin with our mission and vision statement. I will not read it. It's on our website and it has not been modified or changed by me just because I walked in the door. I believe that when folks take the painstaking task of making a mission and vision statement done through the community, we should respect that. Anytime we need to make changes, it's based on because of the needs that are happening. And let's be honest, between 2019, 2020, 2021, there's been some unique and traumatic events that our students, our families and communities have gone through. So there may come a time when we revisit, but today, this is our mission and vision, and the expectation on this leadership is that you and all of us will follow, set by your superintendent. Those who have been around me, I was so happy today as one of our scholars at Hillside Innovation Academy used this term in her speech, and Principal Sidwell just did the same thing. When I walked in here, I said, what is my role? What is my drive? What is my why? And I'm going to read this because I want it to be heard as I walk through the doors and the hallways of our schools, and you talk to me and meet with me. My role is the educational leader who strategically sets goals and pathways for our students to learn how to become constructive, critical thinkers who are producers of knowledge. And that's important to me because I think we sometimes fall into the consumer space. I want our students to become producers of knowledge. For the district personnel to ensure that our primary focus is to ensure that we are putting students first. And that's not just a terminology we should use lightly. My drive is a derivative of witnessing students and staff enjoy the learning environment that they work in. Every building I've been in this year, I've seen the bright faces, the smiling faces, students excited to be back in your classrooms. So that's why we're here. That's my drive. And the why is crafted through the lens of understanding that education is an essential tool that improves equitable. And I think that word's important for us to understand. Equitable outcomes for all members of our community. The pictures that you see here in color were taken by me as I was walking through the first day of school. I have over about 1,000 pictures that I could probably share at some point in time. And so just to choose 4 was hard. I caught our principal at Herd and Looker, making the morning announcement with their hands and saying, this is how we're gonna come in. I captured students in the hallways, and there wasn't one student who did not have his or her mask on, and even if they let it down for a second to get that hug to their classmate, they put it right back up. I've walked all the buildings and I've seen the reason why we wake up and do what we do. We must pay respect, National Hispanic Heritage Month. So I don't know if we are aware nationally, but I want us to be, and we should do a better job of making sure that we connect, not just connect by voice, but also to what we expect to read. Speaking of reading, that's why Superintendent Books of the Month. This is going to begin this month and through October, and it ties into Hispanic Heritage Month. This will be going out to all of our schools, and if we don't have the books, this is my push for you to make sure that our children are going to the libraries, Barnes & Noble, and maybe we can do some fundraisers that do not involve selling candy, that also allow our students we can buy some books, or leverage your partnerships, your organizations. Some excellent books up here, folks, and I would love for you to share it with the community. Remember, I have an expectation that students are reading 20 minutes every night. The more we read, the more articulate we become, and better citizens we will be. Key priorities for the first 90 days. I know they're gonna fog up on me, but that's okay. So I've had the privilege of having a great, and I just have to say this, David, Laura, your team is excellent. They've come through on multiple ways. Our facilities were ready day one. The ask of us, no matter what time of night it was, especially after the floods that happened in our city on September 1st, they were up, they were on it. And no matter what we've asked, the team, you and your team under your leadership have always been there. So thank you for that. I wanted to say that publicly.
Thank you.
Updated guidance on COVID protocols for in-person instruction have been routinely discussed. We've had multiple meetings. I have been in meetings with fellow superintendents throughout the county as well as throughout the state. As we know, COVID protocols are changing. I will report that we have had 5 COVID cases, 3 students, 2 staff. Protocols were followed. Parents were notified. Our nurses, kudos to our nurses, are working overtime to make sure they are getting the right guidance. And they are too, it's a work in progress. Classrooms have been quarantined, but due to the leadership prior to me coming in and the great board members, all of our students have access to digital devices when they go home. Our principals who are in the room, and I apologize I didn't introduce all of you, but all my principals here tonight, they have been working tirelessly with their staff to make sure if a student is out for more than 2 days, then they have access to their digital content, either asynchronous or synchronous. So we are definitely following the protocol set forth. We also have updated guidance that will be coming out, that will be going out this evening to our staff members as we prepare for the October 18th date. Our assessment of our technology infrastructure has occurred, and I'll discuss that a little further. We understand that there is a shortage of teachers, not just teachers, there's a shortage of staff members. We are struggling in multiple areas, but it's not just unique to Hillside. We have looked at that and tried to come up with some strategies. Our curriculum and instruction. Curriculum is important to me because that's the pathway to our students being successful. We are looking at a blueprint to make sure that our alignment to our standards is there. We have CARES 2 Act money, as well as our future ARP money, American Rescue Plan money, that we will have to devise a plan, and that would be something that's done collectively. And then our continued partnership with community-based organizations like Dr. Jefferson and others to support our students. Just to give you some visual images that when asked, this is what you'll see in many of our classroom spaces. I will say that not every classroom has the exact same. It's based on needs, based on facility concerns. But if there's an ask, it's been taken care of. COVID updates for members of the community, this is essential. I know there has been a lot of questions and concerns as to why we are doing daily screening forms. We are doing daily screening forms because it's about the health and safety of all members of the community, students, staff. So it's an expectation, it's a requirement that students and staff complete the daily screening form. Temperature checks are happening at the building. In the event that you see temperature checks not occurring, it's okay to let the superintendent's office know or let the principal know. Start with the principal first. It may have been oversight that day, but our buildings are prepared and they do have the appropriate equipment. All staff, students, and visitors, and it's, I can understand the students how they feel, but we're modeling for them, right? They must wear their mask while they're in school and on school property. We understand that they go outside. We also understand that sometimes they may need to step to the side and do this for a minute or a few seconds. The expectation is that the mask stays on and we model that behavior. We have been in contact with the CDC, Department of Health, to make sure that we are following the appropriate protocols as they do change. And any positive protocols, any positive results that happen, protocols go in place immediately. Classrooms have been cleaned. No matter what time of night I have to reach out, it is taken care of. This is also an important aspect. Parents, please do not send your children to school with outside cleaning agents, because we do have staff members and students who have allergies to certain chemicals and they cannot be brought in. Plus, it's also a violation of this New Jersey guidelines. Technology upgrades. I sit before you, and although I did not initiate it, I understand that we have some technology challenges, but we're going through upgrades. I'm asking for your patience. I understand the calls. I understand it's frustrating to try to log onto your child's Genesis account and you come up with an error message. We hear you. We are in the process of making significant upgrades to our technology system, our network, our infrastructure. The database that we have is a great one, is used across the country, Genesis. The resources that we've had, I've been sharing with my team that we're going to right size it and some places reduce it. However, it takes a little time to get it to where it needs to be. So please bear with us. It's not an excuse, that's the reality, but I do hear you, and parents, I apologize formally to you and publicly for the mistakes that we have had you endure during the first few weeks. The recruitment of highly qualified teachers, and I do use the word highly qualified. We do not just want anyone in front of our students. I want the best and the brightest, the best of our ability. We have an upcoming job fair occurring in the month of October. We also are partnering with King University, Montclair State, as we have student interns in our building completing their clinical hours and their student teaching hours. My goal is to offer them a contract and hope that they will stay. That's our biggest. So the more interns, the more students coming here doing their practicums, the greater opportunity we have to keep them and show them what Hillside's about. That also means while they're here, we have to show them a culture of why they should be here at Hillside or not in our neighboring districts. And that's all of us. So welcome them. If you see them, this is our time to recruit. Just like we do for our sports teams, and all the Cowboy fans understand we're in the process of recruiting too. But we definitely want to make sure that we are recruiting the best and the brightest. At the end of the day, the bottom line is we're all here for instructional purposes of our students and to create a learning environment where our students can be successful. Let me be clear. I came here with the expectation of making sure that we too can hang banners in all of our schools that represent schools on the move, blue ribbon schools. One of our schools that we send students to just this week was designated a Blue Ribbon School. Union County Vocational School, where we send students, just received Blue Ribbon status. I bet you some of our students helped them out. So why don't we keep them in here so that we can hang those banners as well? That's the expectation, but it takes a strong curriculum. It takes our students reading. It takes our students coming to school on time and being prepared. We have the money to buy the resources. It's up to us once we get them in here to make sure the curriculum matches, that it's culturally relevant, that it's engaging, that I go back to the books that we said, that it's diverse, right? This is a room, the irony for me is these books have probably been in this library for a while. In the next couple of years, hopefully we can disperse them and we might bring in some new books, but we should be moving books on a regular basis. One also important part for me is making sure that we understand differentiated practices. English language learners, students with diverse learning needs, students who are gifted and talented, who have high aptitudes. These are the students that make the difference in our schools. The question I ask of my team when we meet is, are our schools ready and prepared to meet all the needs of our learners? None of us can say that everything is perfect, but we should be real close for our students. Quickly just announce that our CARES Act money and our American Rescue Plan money we will be discussing, but we have the money to be able to support the students' needs. Something that you will see coming in the next coming couple of weeks is that we will be offering tutoring services for our students. And tutoring, I hope we're a little unique in how we offer it. A variety of resources for our students, but also customized tutoring, not just pick up the phone and call homework helpline. Parents, you're going to be finding out that your child may be receiving a letter saying that you have the option, strong option, to come to Saturday tutoring. Or can't get them here, we'll come to you. We can do it through virtual and remote activities. So, but that means we need to get the right staff in front of our students. We're going to customize our tutoring for our students, but also make sure we have professional development for our teachers and put them in a position where they can be successful as well. Finally, just want to make sure that I give a few announcements. And I've shared this with the principals and I'm sharing this moving forward. I've shared this with our school business administrators, so I won't get in trouble either. Last year's Union County, Hillside School District, Union County Governor's Teachers of the Year will be receiving what I call the Superintendent Classroom Supply Grant. I will be giving each one of them $500 to spend in their classroom, where they can order from school specialty items that they can use in their classroom to support their instruction. This is what will be taking place every year moving forward. If we can give them more, but this year we're starting with $500. Those staff members will also be invited to participate in professional development or even create professional development that they think that will help their colleagues. If they were Teachers of the Year, they're great. I want to keep them in our district and make sure they're happy. I apologize, I didn't tell the union on that one, but I'm sure you're happy about that. We are moving to a nut-aware district. What does that mean? Not to be disrespectful in the use of the words, but not nut-free, but nut-aware. We have several students in our district who have severe nut allergies. Just the fact of it being in the air could set them off. So you'll be seeing signage going up really soon. You'll also be receiving letters and communication letting us know that our schools are moving in that direction. We've already had a conversation with our food vendor, Mazio's, that their products will no longer have nut products in it. They're changing even the peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Students won't really probably know, but we are making an adjustment to make sure we can accommodate all students. What I never want to have happen is a student feel isolated because he or she has to go sit off in a certain section of the room while their peers are also enjoying different activities. No, we're going to do this for all of our students. And to that end, parents, that means we have to be mindful what we bring from the outside. We're not supposed to be bringing in all those nice cupcakes and goodies because we don't know where they're made. So let's try to be creative in how do we give treats or other things to our students during certain occasions. This past week, our students took the Start Strong state assessment, and it's not a high stakes, high needs assessment. It's an assessment to see where they're at. We will have a report in October on that data. We will also have a conversation about the other interim and benchmark and Lexile assessments that our students have been given, just because I think it's important to the public to see where our students are at. Virtual back to school nights are happening. So far, we've had elementaries, my early childhood building, I want to say preschool, early childhood, elementaries, rounding success. I know it wasn't what we were hoping, but the opportunity for our parents to at least log in and see the classrooms has been important. There will be a new directive coming out about making sure parents can log on at any time throughout the course of the year, just to kind of get a virtual tour, not a live tour when students are in the classroom, just a virtual tour. I think virtual tours are important because it can show you how the classroom is evolving over time. So we will talk about that moving forward. And then just a couple final things, and this is important to me because we celebrate students, and this is what we're about. So this month we're celebrating some areas of sports, but I also want you to know that we're gonna do academics as well. So I leave by congratulating our Hillside High School cross-country team. Congratulations, led by Coach Jimmy Small. And you'll see in real small print here, there were 3 cross-country events that took place. And Principal Sidwa, I would love to meet Elijah, and I might say his name wrong, Elijah Kiomba. I'm saying that wrong. But I would love to meet him. Mr. Elijah, who's a senior here, came in 3rd place, came in 1st place, and came in 1st place out of 40. So it seems like he's doing something well. So Mr. Coach Jimmy Smalls, kudos to you and all of them. And this young lady, as a freshman, placed in the top 10, her first time ever running cross country. There's talent here, folks, there's talent. So let's make sure we support those folks and let me know who they are so I can come give them their love and their flowers. Always, our varsity football team, led by our great coach, Barris Grant, and his staff. Thank you. They did a great job at Rutgers, fell a little short. But then last Friday night, under the lights, 27-7, they dominated. Kudos to them. Principal Silva, please make sure you get your hugs before the game starts. That's a little inside joke. This Saturday at 1 o'clock is our home opener. Let's come out and support our student athletes. And finally, it's already been stated, but I'm excited because all of our schools, our students, our staff, our community is participating in our breast cancer awareness walk that will be taking place on Sunday, October 3rd. Let's come out and do our pink shuffle. You never know who may be your MC. And I hear there's a special celebrity DJ who may be in the house, not your superintendent. That concludes my superintendent report, and I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Glover, and I'd like to say thank you to Ms. Sidwa. She came out without the top guns with her. Great start. At this time, we're going to make a motion to move items under finance.
I would like to move items 1 through 6 under finance.
Second. Ms. Best?
Yes.
Mr. Howard? Ms. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes to all but 1. I wasn't be on the 6.
Sorry. With number,
1.
not, no to number 1.
Abstain.
Abstain to number 1, okay. Ms. Wall?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Best, can you move items under buildings and grounds?
I would like to move items 1 through 3 under buildings and grounds.
Wall, second. Ms. Best?
Yes.
Mr. Howard? Ms. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes.
Ms. Wall?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes. Ms. Worrell, can you move items under education?
I would like to move items 1 through 7 under education.
Second. Any questions?
I have a question. On number 2, So we added to the related services placement, and it's 2 amounts. Are we combining those 2 amounts for the total?
For the two that are added this evening,
Yes.
that'll be presented by our attorney. They're not included in this agenda.
This one here, the right beginning, 37?
Yeah. It's two separate matters. Is there another question, Mr.?
Nope, that was it.
What's up? Ms. Best?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Ms. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes.
Ms. Tucker?
I have to abstain from 6. Yes to everything else.
Ms. Worrell?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes to everything, abstain on number 6.
I will take into consideration, thank you, Ms. Cook. I will take into consideration abstentions for number 6 for all those who are listed.
Mr. Shapiro, can you move items that I
Sorry. It'll be 6-1, it'll be 6-2. I'll be specific to what they've abstained. They've abstained to just their names. You can't vote on your own motion, so where your name shows up, I will write down in the minutes that you've abstained to number 6, number 4 within 6, just that one, so the motion will pass.
Motion to move items under labor 1 through 53 with the strikes on 15 C and D previously noted by Mr. Howard.
Second.
Ms. Best?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Ms. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes.
Ms. Worrell?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes. At this time, we have 2 more items to vote on, presented by our attorney.
This is a resolution to approve settlement agreement for a special education student, and we'll put the number in for me, Dr. Michael. Authorize the board president to execute settlement agreement, terms of which are contained in the settlement, as discussed in closed session.
Is there a motion?
Motion. Second.
Ms. Best?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Ms. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro? Ms. Tucker?
Yes.
Ms. Worrell?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes.
And this is the other matter that was discussed in closed session as well. It's the Board of Education approved the settlement agreement for a special education student. Dr. Michael put in a number. Authorize the board president to execute the settlement agreement, terms of which are contained in the agreement.
Motion.
Second.
Ms. Best?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Ms. Simmons?
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro? Ms. Tucker?
Yes.
Ms. Worrell?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Yes.
These will appear as addition to the education agenda.
I said, it wasn't still going to address that question.
Sorry. Yes,
That we're going to be paying?
yes.
Anyone have any old or new business?
I had new business. So, it was brought to my attention that our letterhead was changed to reflect one of our board members only. Was there a reason for the change?
So yes, the letterhead was updated with my name because the previous superintendent, his name was on there. And just in past practices and my work, the school board president's name was added to the letterhead. But aside from that, the letterhead was updated with my name and not the previous superintendent's name.
And the principal were removed, right?
Principals were not removed. At each individual school, the principal's letterhead was given, the principals were sent letterhead to add their name and their respective schools on it.
So as far as our policy, number 146, where it says no board member by virtue of his or her office shall exercise any administrative responsibility with respect to operation of the school district, or as an individual commander serves as any school district employee, it kind of conflicts with that, the letter is administrative.
No, the school board president is running he can run the school board, she's the president of the school board. She's not just because of
Not
her
the district, we don't have anything with the day-to-day affairs of the district.
right, but just because her name's on letterhead doesn't mean that she's running the district. So as,
This is I'm sorry, Superintendent, this is something for
So,
council.
yeah, so every school district, the board president is the designated spokesperson for the Board of Education. So if, for example, media wants to contact the district, or if they want someone from the board that they would be able to communicate with, it has to be the board president by virtue of the policy and by virtue of law. So it's not the fact that the name of the letterhead. Obviously, if someone wants to contact the district, they have to contact the board president in order to get any comments or anything related to the operation of the school district. It doesn't give her any more authority than any other board members, so it still has the same board.
I just have one announcement that I would like and
I would have one more. So as far as the open house today with the ribbon cutting, and I saw a lot of our state and county officials, did we invite the mayor and the council? Were they given an invite?
I'm not sure if they were, I came from the administration, but it was a, open ceremony, I believe it was outdoors, it was changed at the last minute due to the rain.
So the
Now, we
hillside
have
school district,
council members that did show up to the ceremony.
But no
You and
formal
I don't
invite.
remember.
with no formal invite? Like we sent to the governor and the other county officials, just asking, as protocol.
Okay, so the ribbon cutting, the governor asked to be there for, because as we know that the state funded the Hillside Innovation Academy. So basically, there wasn't an invitation, they actually asked to come out to the event.
Thank you.
any other. In light of all the events that have happened in our own county, Union County Board of County Commissioners will be having an emergency food distribution, COVID-19, this Saturday, beginning at 8 a.m. I will leave the flyer up here, but I believe it's an event where it will be taking place in, well, I want to say it wrong,
1 acre park.
Ornaco Park in Roselle, New Jersey, at the skating rink on at the Park Avenue entrance. It's a walk-up event. Folks are asked to bring a cart so that you can receive food for this or any other items that you may need. So again, I will leave this, make sure it's posted on our district website tomorrow, but this is an opportunity for those families in need and any of our communities to be able to be supported. And thank you, that's it for me.
Madam President? One comment. I just wanted to, first of all, I wanted to thank the superintendent for his report tonight, as well as for the initiative of inviting the staff here. First of all, the enormous undertaking and the great professional and personal expense that everybody who works for this district undertook in order to get school open this year and to get our kids back into the classrooms, it cannot be overstated. The depth of our gratitude and our appreciation for that. I'm not necessarily speaking on behalf of the board, kind of as a human and a citizen of this town. I cannot possibly find the words to express the degree of appreciation that so many of us have, that the buildings are open, the kids are learning, that there's a degree of normalcy, safety, and routine in their lives. It's an incredible amount of work, and the superintendent glossed over all the protocols and the constant changes and the county meetings and the CDC and the state, et cetera, et cetera. There's a million things that go into any given day in a school district and in any one classroom, and now there's a million plus. when it comes to the current situation and with COVID. And so just from the bottom of my heart, I wanted to thank all of you who are here tonight. I know giving up a night during the school year is normal and routine when it comes to care of your students, but to be here tonight was an extra sacrifice. And so I personally appreciate that, but also all the work that you're doing just every day. It's a miracle for the 3,000 plus kids who are able to walk into the doors every single day and have normalcy and routine back into their lives. And then some, right? Because every single classroom is something special. So everyone, from the, from our coaches to our faculty members to the people who do the work, keeping the buildings running and the lights on. Really, thank you all so very much. Those who are here, and please extend it to those who aren't.
Thank you for saying that. Before we close, I know we've been getting a lot of phone calls and emails from parents concerning the crossing guards. The police department has met with us. Crossing guards are hired through the township, not the Board of Education. They are working very hard to try to hire crossing guards. If anyone knows relatives or friends who want to come out to cross, I believe they told us they're down 6 crossing guards for the town at this point. And the applications are at the front desk of the police department. So if anyone's interested or knows anybody to come out and help with the crossing, that is also there. Also, a lot of parents are inquiring that people are knocking on their doors, telling them that virtual is an option for learning in the district. We are under the executive order of the state. That is not an option with our district. Our students, it's an executive order that they come to school. If they are sick, we are offering a virtual option. But I would just want all our parents to understand it is not an option. Just if you want to keep your kids home at this point, it is not the district's decision. It is an executive order by the state of New Jersey that we are governed under. So I just want to make that clear to everyone so that, you can send your kids to school and understand why the school is open at this point. And we're doing everything, as Mr. Glover said, to follow the protocols for COVID. And our teachers are doing a great job. It's a lot that they have to get up and do. Our principals, temperature checks. We had issues with our forms that they're filling out, parents are filling out online. So people are putting in additional work, but they're doing a great job of still educating our students. So we just need everybody to cooperate. It's going to take everybody working together to get through this, but we can if we're out there putting the right information out there so all parents understand what's happening. So we just got to keep putting out the right information. So virtual is just not an option in the district at this time. Any other board members have anything else to say?
I would like to give my warm wishes on the beginning of the new academic year to Mr. Glover and his faculty. And so I would also like to please of your accomplishment, of the school's accomplishment, of the town's accomplishment. I've been in Hillside for over 30 years, and I see you can only come up when you're down. So just think positive, parents, and remember, every moment is a fresh beginning.
At this time, I'd like to take a motion to close.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.